GH6 has adopted a new live MOS sensor and a new Venus engine. The sensor resolution has been increased by more than 20% compared to GH5 to 25.2 megapixels, with higher resolution, higher speed signal readout, and wider dynamic range. Dual IS2 capabilities have increased to 7.5 stops. The Lumix GH6 contains built-in V-Log V-Gamut LUTs for the first time in Lumix G Micro Four Thirds cameras and provides a stunning 12 plus stops of dynamic range and up to 13 plus stops of wide dynamic range using dynamic range boost mode. The new Lumix GH6 changes the game again with 422 10-bit C4K 60p and unlimited recording time. 420 10-bit 4K 120p and 422 10-bit FHD 240p HFR or high frame rate. GH6 can record FHD at a maximum of 300 frames per second VFR or variable frame rate. In addition to 420 10-bit 5.7K 60p, 420 10-bit 5.8K 30p or 4.4K 60p, anamorphic 4:3 video can be recorded utilizing the full area of the sensor. And the GH6 can display de-squeezed anamorphic footage on the monitor in real time. 5.7K 30p video recording is available in ProRes 422 HQ. The Lumix team's goal is to enable new paths of creativity in video production while creating a new market for the industry. We'll do this together with all creators seeking new power and video expression. Panasonic is proud to offer cameras with such high reliability that can be trusted by professional creatives everywhere. The recommended retail price for GH6 will be $21.99 USD and €21.99 Euro. And future GH6 performance enhancements will be delivered via firmware updates, and we'll continue to update the camera features based on the needs of our customers.
So obviously now that everybody sees it uses the contrast-based autofocus system, it's DFD based. I am well aware it's not the direction that people were hoping that we would go. It just wasn't possible for us to get a modification for phase-based autofocus. Now, to be clear, that doesn't mean that we aren't investigating phase-based autofocus systems or time-of-flight autofocus systems, or maybe something really cool that none of us have ever heard of before. But at this time, with this camera, this is what we're going to be able to offer.
Release date is going to be end of March. In the United States, when you pre-order the GH6, you're getting a free CF Express Type B card with the camera.
We obviously know our future roadmaps, so we're making sure we're giving away a card that is ready not just for what the camera can do today, but what we have planned in the future for the product.
You now have a camera that has natively higher resolution than any other Micro Four Thirds camera on the market, and you have a handheld high-resolution shot mode that doesn't have to go down to a lower resolution. You've got 100 megapixels whether you're doing handheld or whether you're doing tripod shots.
When you get your GH6, it's going to include the Model 22 battery. It'll include a wall outlet that has a USB port. It'll include a charger and then a USB to USB-C cable. And you can obviously charge right at the charger, or you can plug the camera into the USB-C and into that wall adapter, and you can charge it that way as well. It's important to note that that wall adapter we give you, if you turn on the camera to use it, it's going to stop charging the battery, but then it'll just power the camera off the wall adapter. If you want to be able to trickle charge your battery at the same time you're powering it, you'll need a different wall adapter. We make, I think it's the BTC15. And then obviously, as we mentioned earlier, eventually that USB output will let you record to external drives as well.
GH6 is basically, for all intent and purpose, from the video side, a 10-bit camera. You have to dig very, very deep to find 8-bit codecs. HFR modes in the GH6, 48 frame per second, 60, 120, and 240 that are selectable in the main recording options all have autofocus and all have audio recording. Variable frame rate, which is how you get to 300 frames per second, doesn't have audio or autofocus.
We make a device called an XLR1, which you can put through the hot shoe of the camera, and that'll give you a channel 1 and channel 2 input for XLR. And then a great additional feature is that I can actually record the XLR1 and also audio coming in through the 3.5 millimeter or the built-in mics. So that's 4 audio channels that you can record simultaneously.
New button up here. When you press this, the back of the camera now gets you this display.
You press the audio button
and
again.
then now you've got
all
4 channels. 4K crops. There are no crops in this camera. Everything that you can record, save for 4.4K at 60p, which is the 4:3 aspect ratio, will be full sensor width. Full-size HDMI port, as would be expected in the Lumix cameras.
And can we record vlog in ProRes? Absolutely.
Can audio input be adjusted below -12 decibels? Yes, it can. It can be adjusted to -18 decibels, as well as the audio in the camera can be set to mute.
So you can now record 24-bit, 48 kilohertz audio to the internal microphone. The really cool thing is that even the 3.5 millimeter jack can record 96 kilohertz, 24-bit audio. You're getting the same resolution of audio that you'd get through the XLR1.
H.265 codec, so easy way to tell with the Lumix cameras at least, is anything that's 420 10-bit is going to be an HEVC or a H.265 compression. Anything 422 10-bit is H.264. The new sensor and the new processor allows us that ability that you can do manual focus with punch in while you're recording video.
There's a caveat. That'll only work up to 60 frames per second. I can tell you right now, there are no plans for BRAW internal, and they have not told us if there's any plans for BRAW external over HDMI.
Bye.